Hello everyone, so for today I have a rant video for you and it's going to be about the new maps, or lack thereof I should say. I will warn you, I use the word new very loosely in this commentary. Now I also just want to say on the outset, sorry, that I try to promote Gears 4 in a positive light because I want the game to do well. I want the community to grow. Obviously, it helps channels grow too when the game is doing well. And I think that the Coalition is doing a lot of good, including some of the substantive changes they made to the gameplay. And I think what they're doing with the competitive scene is absolutely amazing. But at the same time, I do find myself frustrated by other aspects of the game, and every now and then I do speak out about them in the hope that it induces maybe some sort of positive change or ideas rolling around. And this commentary is actually going to be pretty straightforward, and obviously from the title I'll be talking about the downloadable maps that we've been receiving. So we just got Slab and Hotel, which I was not particularly too happy about, and it has urged me to do a commentary on my kind of frustrations that I'm having with the downloadable maps we've received so far. The basic argument I'm going to try to make here is that we've just had way too many returning old Gears maps coming in place of some of the new maps that I would have expected to get as downloadable content. And just to kind of give this argument a foundation, I'm going to lay some facts on you. So Gears 4 shipped with 10 maps, I believe, and we have received 12 downloadable maps so far. 8 of those 12 maps are old Gears maps, and I'll just name them off real quick. War Machine, Old Town, Dry Dock, Clock Tower, Checkout, Blood Drive, and now Hotel and Slab. One of the 12 maps was a reskin of Impact, that being Impact Dark, and that leaves 3 of the 12 maps that are brand spanking new, those being Diner, Spire, and Glory. As a side note, I don't think that Glory and Spire were that great for reasons that I won't have time to get into, but I thought that Diner was really excellent and it was very refreshing, and I think that the fact that Spire and Glory have also been taken out of the rotation cycle for at least the core playlist, I believe, and I think even competitive, kind of speaks to the fact that people weren't too fond of them. So as a percentage, that gives us 66% of returning old Gears maps as the downloadable content that we have received thus far, and that's a problem for reasons that I think are fairly obvious. For one, it's not very engaging for people who have played previous Gears titles a crap ton. Obviously, the counter argument to this is that there are some players that are new who have not played these maps and they're very refreshing for them, but I think the counter argument to that is fairly simple, and that's that a large or a substantial part of the Gears population has played previous Gears titles that are playing Gears 4 now, and to us, this is nothing new. This is something we've played before, and it is not refreshing. I also think that it's a crappy deal for Seasons Pass holders, such as myself, who have paid for the exclusive use of these maps in private lobbies, whether it be for Horde or for PvP, with the expectation that we would have new maps to dabble in, and these just do not fit my definition of new. And that kind of brings me to my next point, which I think some people would respond to me by saying, well, these are new maps. They didn't ship with the game, so by definition, these are new maps. And my response to that is, I think that's a bit definitional to kind of get into, what we're really getting are old maps that are reskins. For example, Slab or Old Town both look beautiful, but are they really new in like a true sense? These are maps that have existed before. They're not brand spanking new. Yes, they were introduced into Gears 4 and we didn't have them before, but at their core, I do not consider them to be new maps. And just as another little side note, I don't think anybody was ever crying to have Slab or Hotel back. Those to me are just maps that are not bad by any means, but definitely not good and outstanding to the point that they deserve a return, at least at this point, into the series. But just underlying this is that we should strive for better. I think it's quite clear that the solution to this is obviously for us to be receiving new maps. What's done is done. Obviously, you can't change what's been implemented in the game, but also enough is enough is the next quote I'm going to throw in here. It's time to give us some maps that nobody has ever seen before, like Diner. It's clear that the Coalition has the capacity to make maps that are good. I mean, I think some of the maps that the game shipped with are really great, like Foundation and Harbor, Reclaim. Those are all maps that I enjoy, and I think Diner was really great as well. So I know some people have said, well, they didn't do that great of a job with Spire and Glory, so maybe they should just keep giving us these old maps that they know are pretty good from before, and that way, we'll at least have a set of maps that we enjoy playing. I don't think this is a time to get complacent. Gears 4 is growing I think, and it's doing well. And the best way to keep doing that is by introducing content that is fresh for the whole community. I also just think from a consumer standpoint, a lot of us are sitting here saying, hey, what the heck's going on? You know, where is the new content that I paid for? So I guess the point of this commentary was just to kind of bring attention to this issue and say that, you know, we are ready for some new maps here. There's nothing wrong with bringing back old maps once in a while as a treat, but they should definitely not overshadow what I think should be the case, which is just having brand new maps on the outset. So perhaps the coalition is understaffed, or there are reasons that they are doing this, but at the end of the day, this is one of those situations where I really don't care what the reason is. We were promised new maps, and by my standards, new maps are things that we have not seen before in previous Gears titles, and I would like to see brand new maps. So feel free to let me know what you think and share your comments below. Still loving this game, obviously. Think it's great, but this is one of the areas that I feel pretty strongly about and would like to see some change, and hopefully we will see that in the next month. You know, I do not want to see any of these old maps returning for quite some time. Not even Gears 2 maps, quite frankly, even though those would be nice way down the road. It's time to introduce some new maps into this game. So thank you very much for watching, and I look forward to hearing what you have to say. Just as a little side note, I recently did a dual commentary with Beachaps on his channel, and I'm going to link that in the description of this video if you want to go ahead and give that a watch. There is a face reveal there if you want to see my beautiful face, and we also discuss a ton of Gears related topics. So if you have the time, I'd appreciate it if you could check that out.